Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Thursday morning, March the 18th. I started to go outside today. We got snow flying with rain, some mixture, and the wind's blowing pretty hard. So, no, I'm staying in here today. Besides that, Marcia is up, busy, making me coffee.
Nope.
She's not making me anything yet. She just hadn't got the hint yet that we're out of coffee. She needs to get us some. That'll get me thumped. All right. This stuff here in 1 Timothy chapter 3, talking about the supervisors and the how they must be. So I got out the commentary. This is pretty neat on 1 Timothy chapter 3, because there's several verses here that have to do with the ecclesia and the supervisors and the what they call them, the servants. The servants in this first part it's talking about is the deacons of the ecclesia, and not only the deacons but the priest or the bishops, the overseers. See, that's the supervisor of the overseers of the ecclesia. So I'm going to read this commentary here, so we'll know how this is going to go the next few days. Is tied in with this part. Each ecclesia in Paul's day seems to have had two distinct classes of officers, if we may so term them. There were the supervisors, sometimes called overseers or bishops, and the servants or deacons. The supervisors seem to have had a general oversight of the ecclesia and its members, while the servants took a subordinate place, rendering such service as the ecclesia stood in need of. The qualifications for these positions are here given. The young and untested men were not welcome in these responsibilities. It seems taken for granted that the supervisor is an elder. Both supervisors and servants must show their fitness by controlling their own households. So that's what the commentary, A. Enoch's commentary says about this. So as we go through this in the next few days, this is talking about the supervisors and what they should be doing and how they should act. It goes all the way up through verse 8, looks like. So these next week is all about the supervisors and their cohorts. All right, so just understand that and read this all in context. I read that whole chapter out and it's pretty neat, but you got to read them in context to get what it's about. But this is the references is tied to 1 Timothy 3 and verse 2. There's not but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 references to it. So get these and read them in context, so you'll have it all of what it's talking about. But sometimes it's nice to know what the references are here in Paul's writings. Now I stick with Paul's writings because the risen Christ revealed himself to Saul for a purpose. He could have gave this message to Peter if Peter was part of it. But Peter's not part of this. There's two different classes of people, the circumcision and the uncircumcision. It's in Scripture, so we follow Scripture. All right? Now, so here's what we got today. The supervisor, then, must be irreprehensible, the husband of one wife, sober, sane, decorous, hospitable, and apt to teach. If anyone is unimpeachable, the husband of one wife, having believing children, not under the accusations of profligacy, that's not right, profligacy, or insubordinate. For the supervisor must be unimpeachable as an administrator of God, not given to self-gratification, not irritable, no topper, not quarrelsome, not avaricious, but hospitable, fond of that which is good, sane, just, benign, self-controlled, upholding the faithful word according to the teaching, that he may be able to entreat with sound teaching, as well as to expose those who contradict, that you may become blameless and artless, children of God, flawless in the midst of a generation crooked and perverse, among whom you are appearing as luminaries in the world. Now let these also first be tested. Thereafter let them be serving, being unimpeachable, forbidding to marry, abstaining from foods which God creates to be partakers of, with thanksgiving by those who believe and realize the truth. Let no widow be listed of less than 60 years, having been the wife of one man, attested by ideal acts, contributing to the needs of the saints, pursuing hospitality, but hospitable, fond of that which is good, sane, just, benign, and self-controlled. Now a slave of the Lord must not be fighting, but be gentle toward all, apt to teach, bearing with evil. Now that's references to 1 Timothy 3 and verse 2. All right. So I'll leave that one there and get that one, call that one done. Today on Thursday, right? I won't add anything to that. It's just important to know, who the supervisor is, who they're talking about, and this position that they've got here in the ecclesia. And so this is like the preacher in the church and the deacons in the church, and these are their responsibilities in that time, and in the churches in the ecclesia. So that's what Paul was talking about. All right, but read all these in the context that they're in, so you can get a better understanding of how this law flowed through. All right, makes for a good study. Anyway, there you got it. Marcia, you're awful quiet. You got anything you want to say or anything to anybody? Marcia.
What?
You hardly ever get her not to say anything. But someday her and I are going to come out and do a video.
No, we're not.
Probably get outside. And someday we get out there and sit down by the creek. Get her good and relaxed.
Nope.
Prop a camera up in front of her face and turn her on. If she talk, she just talk. Bless her heart. The looks I get, y'all don't see that. All right, well, we'll call it a day. And this is the day that the Lord has made. God's given us it. Let's go see what God's got for us. You ready? You want to? We are. It's going to be a good day. All right, so anyway, we'll get this out and we'll talk to y'all tomorrow. See you then.